Welcome, Medicos. Let's begin with a positive quote. You should always believe that you can achieve your goal. Then definitely you will. Today's topic is meningitis. Coming to the objectives, we will be defining meningitis. We will be categorizing meningitis on the basis of pathogen causing it, clinical manifestations, and etiological agents causing meningitis. Meningitis is an inflammation of the protective membranes covering the brain and spinal cord. A bacterial, viral infection of the fluid surrounding the brain and spinal cord usually cause the swelling. So we can divide meningitis on the basis of the pathogen causing it. For example, bacterial meningitis, viral meningitis, fungal meningitis, parasitic meningitis, and amoebic meningitis. In bacterial, we will be discussing about the acute bacterial meningitis or pyogenic meningitis and chronic bacterial meningitis. The signs and symptoms. Meningitis symptoms include sudden onset of fever, headache, and stiff neck. So this stiff neck is very important symptom here. Also, other symptom can be there like nausea, vomiting, and photophobia. Sometimes meningitis may also increase and cause encephalitis, and hence they may present with altered sensorium. Signs of meningism or meningeal irritations are nuchal rigidity, Kernig sign, and Brudzinski's sign. This nuchal rigidity means stiff neck. It is pathognomic sign of meningeal irritation. Here the neck resists passive flexion. So there is basically stiffness in the neck. Then we have Kernig sign. This Kernig test is not very sensitive to meningitis, and if absent, it does not mean that the patient does not have meningitis. However, if this test is positive, then it is highly specific for meningitis. What happens in Kernig sign is there is a severe stiffness of the hamstrings which causes inability to straighten the leg when the hip is flexed to 90 degree. So when the hips are flexed to 90 degree, it causes inability to strengthen the leg. Then we have Brudzinski's sign. In this, when the neck is passively flexed, it results in spontaneous flexion of the hips and the knees. So when we try to passively flex the neck of the patient, then we see an involuntary hip and knee flexion. Coming to bacterial meningitis, this is divided into acute bacterial meningitis, which is also known as pyogenic meningitis, and chronic bacterial meningitis. So what are the etiological agents for this? In acute, we have Neisseria meningitidis, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Streptococcus agalactiae or group B Streptococcus, Haemophilus influenzae, and Listeria. For chronic, we have Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Treponema pallidum, Brucella. Let's talk about viral meningitis. Viral meningitis, the inflammation of the subarachnoid space is due to viral etiology, and it is second most common next to acute bacterial meningitis. It is often less severe than the bacterial meningitis, and hence it have a better prognosis. Most of the time, this is a chronic meningitis. The examples are enterovirus, herpes virus, arbovirus, LCM virus, which is lymphocytic choriomeningitis virus, and others like mumps virus, measles, influenza, and HIV. This enterovirus is the most common cause of viral meningitis, which accounts for more than 85% of the cases. And this arbovirus, we have examples such as West Nile virus. Fungal meningitis, as I have made a video earlier on this Cryptococcus neoformans, cryptococcal meningitis. It is a chronic meningitis. Then we have Candida, Histoplasma, Aspergillus, Blastomyces, and Coccidioides. In amoebic meningitis, among the many free-living amoebae that exist in nature, only 4 genera have association with the human disease, out of which one causes meningitis. Actually, it causes meningoencephalitis. The organism is Naegleria fowleri. It causes primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. Others like Acanthamoeba, Balamuthia, Sapinia, they don't cause meningitis. Acanthamoeba causes GAE, granulomatous amoebic encephalitis, and amoebic keratitis. Balamuthia also causes GAE, and Sapenia species cause encephalitis. So here for meningitis we have to remember Naegleria fowleri. It causes PAM. To talk about parasitic meningitis, some parasite can cause a rare form of meningitis called eosinophilic meningitis, eosinophilic meningoencephalitis or EM. So why it is called eosinophilic is in the CSF sample we get high eosinophil counts. The three main parasite that causes EM in infected people are Angiostrongylus cantonensis, Balis ascaris procyonis, and Nathostoma spinigerum. So for A. cantonensis, the people get infected by eating raw or undercooked snails or slugs or contaminated produce. For Balis ascaris, people get infected accidentally by ingesting infectious parasite eggs. The eggs can be found in raccoon feces and environment such as dirt contaminated with raccoon feces. For Nathostoma, people get infected eating raw or undercooked freshwater fish, eels, frogs, poultry or snakes. So why this is important? It is important because this is a PG entrance question, and especially they will be asking the animals. For example, A. cantonensis, people get infected by eating raw or undercooked snails or slugs. We'll get back to you soon. You are a step closer to your goal. Keep working. Thank you.